Hey guys, my name is Chris.
I'm Tara.
So we're going to tell you 5 plants that we are not going to plant again.
And we're going to tell you why. So we're going to go out into the snow right now and stand next to where we had planted these this year. We didn't get around to this while they were growing, so we had too much going on in the growing season. So we're going to take you over there now, and I'm going to get my feet wet because I didn't realize that I had holes in the bottom of my boots. But that's okay because it's kind of warm even though it's snowy. So let's get over to the plant.
All right, so the first plant that we're going to tell you about is the Alice Dreams tomato. This was given to us by one of Tara's cousins, and they had a lot of luck with that where they're at. But so we grew it here, and the plant actually was very healthy. It was strong and green and vibrant. It grew up quick, faster than the other plants. The tomatoes came out, and they had just a beautiful look to it. Purple with yellow, kind of stripes or I don't know, spires is the right word, but a beautiful look to it. Matured. The Alice Dreams tomatoes are supposed to be low in acidity. So we got those and we tasted them and we did not like it.
Not at all.
So not at all. So we actually gave some to one of our neighbors, and he even threw them out. He said, these are awful. So, but you know, if it's something you like or have never tried and you want to give it a shot, go for it, because it may thrive in your area and you may have really good results, and everybody's tastes differ. So you can give it a shot. But as for us, we gave it a shot, and that's one that we're not going to do again.
We are over by the greenhouse, and Chris and I we used to have several beds right here. Now we just have the one. It is an artichoke plant. The plant thrives. We've grown this, what now, 3 times? Mm-hmm. The plant thrives, but it never produces a flower or a choke first, you know, and then a flower. And it never sends that stalk up. So it is, they thrive, they grow big. We had a whole row back behind me in here. I know you can't see because the asparagus and different plants that grew up right here, but right behind this row, we had a huge row of artichokes in there. I think we had, what, 30 artichoke plants? We had 2 in this bed and 2 in the beds over here. Not one of them produced for us, not one. And again, this is not the first year that we've grown artichokes, and we've just never really had a good, maybe we don't get hot enough here. I don't know. It just seems like we just don't thrive when it comes to artichokes. And if you actually start thinking about it, I mean, we can get a can of artichokes, a jar of artichokes. I like it in the jars. I don't like cans. That are already grown and cleaned and packed away for you for like $2.69 at Kroger's. So sometimes they pop up to $4, but when it's that, as much space as it takes up in our garden, and as easy it is to go buy it, and I have to be honest, I maybe cook with artichokes 6 times a year. That's not really enough to grow. I mean, green beans and garlic and kale and broccoli and all of these other things we actually utilize almost on a daily basis. So we really can't feasibly spare the space, even though we have tons of garden space. Look back behind us. I mean, we do have a half an acre, but that half an acre could be corn. And corn is a producer, like a hardcore producer. So we will not be spending the time. And by the way, artichokes have to be started super early. So that's another thing that you are tending to indoors, that you just don't want to do. So I think that we're gonna say that's a big for the artichokes for us. Okay, well, the next thing that we're going to talk about, we actually had planted over here, but you can't tell what this is because we removed the tunnel. So the tunnel is gone. We used that to keep in the little piggies, and but we did grow some early girl tomatoes over here. I know that everyone and their brother loves early girl tomatoes. I mean, literally, I've heard everyone brag on early girl tomatoes. I've tried them for 3 years, and for 3 years, I hate them. Like, I don't understand why people like them. I think they're tiny. They have no flavor. And I might be a little spoiled because we've always grown heirloom tomatoes. Heirloom tomatoes are so flavorful, and we have just chosen really good varieties too, so that helps. But if you're gonna grow things, like, I know that early girls come earlier, as the name says, but it's not worth it to me. Like, I'd rather wait for excellent flavor. All of our tomatoes are huge. I mean, we have Amish paste tomatoes that grow up to like a pound, if not more sometimes. We've had 3-pound Brandywine tomatoes, and the flavors that we get out of those are incredible. So yeah, no more early girl for us. That's another. Okay, so our next plant is black raspberries, but we don't hate black raspberries. We love black raspberries. But we will be taking them out of our garden altogether. We had planted them originally because I did not believe the knowledge that was given to us that you shouldn't plant them near red raspberries, and I did. And we found out why you don't do that. So
the black raspberries would get some diseases that they transfer over to the red raspberries.
Yeah.
And it has killed off most of our red raspberry plants.
Yeah, yeah. And they switch back and forth diseases. They can get leaf curl, they can get that mosaic virus. There's many things that they transfer back and forth. And I did not believe that. And actually, for the first few years that we had the black raspberries, they were fine. But we started noticing that our red raspberries, which are sometimes considered a weed because they grow so well, they were like dwindling away. We had 20 plants, and I think we're down to 10. So we have actually lost half of our red raspberries. And so I started looking, and it has all the telltale signs of, you know, transferring viruses between each other. So because we love red raspberries, I mean, like, addictively so, the black raspberries have to go. And we're fortunate because black raspberries grow wild here. So on our farm, at least, it does. And we have tons and tons. We have 15 acres over that way that is more than 700 feet away. So we're fortunate that we can still go and get black raspberries. And the wild ones actually are a little sweeter than the cultivated ones. And they kind of produce better, don't you think? Yeah. And who doesn't like it when you don't have to take care of a plant? So they are overtaken by weeds right now. But here is what we will be getting rid of. And you can tell them by the purple thorny canes that they have. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's got this reddish purplish cane on it. And so we will be digging that out. And yeah, go from there.
Okay, so for our number 5 plant, we came into the greenhouse here because we're going to talk about greenhouse tomatoes.
Yeah, hothouse tomatoes. So, I mean, my whole life, like, I watched adults when I was young say, you know, are they hothouse tomatoes? And then they'd go, ew. And we know that we all live on hothouse tomatoes, those who haven't canned. You know, when you go to the store, you're getting hothouse tomatoes. And so I think we've gotten used to that taste and flavor. But we don't do that. And so we grew hothouse tomatoes this year. We grew San Marzano, Alice's Dream, Brandywine, and Amish Paste in here. And we other than the Alice's Dream, we love all those tomatoes. And the plants actually did better than the plants out in the garden. They were completely disease free, although we did struggle with hornworm for the very first time this year. Our chickens loved it.
They did.
And so we have very definitive thoughts about this. So while plants do super good out in the greenhouse, there is something to them being in the actual natural sun. And so I have heard that for years, and again, I went against conventional wisdom. And that's not wise when I do that, but I do it. And so these tomatoes, they were very disease resistant until they had fruit on them. And then we started to notice that the fruits, a lot of them were getting blossom end rot, which is a calcium deficiency, but that, I mean, it was put in compost just like all our other tomatoes were. It's given well water, it's given like it should have, by all intents and purposes, had every nutrient and mineral. I mean, we put phosphorus in the soil, we put worm compost. We put worm compost in the soil. Worm castings. Thank you. So this soil was like very, very great. It was. We also put in. We also do Alaska fish fertilizer, but on the tomatoes we put in once a month. We were doing Tomato Tone, the liquid variety. Just no reason why these didn't thrive. No, I'm saying didn't thrive. We had tons of tomatoes. I mean, tons. Some of them had blossom end rot. We did struggle with tomato hornworm, but the really big one for us was the taste. The taste, like it was mealy from the tomatoes in here. I mean, the flavor was okay, sort of. It didn't pack a punch, did it?
Yeah, no.
It's
definitely much better, just tasting better when it's done outside.
It is.
In its natural environment, and there's free flow of air and sun.
Yeah.
And
it just works better. It's just better outside. So if you're in a pinch and you can only do hothouse tomatoes, I mean, it's not like it's eating, I don't know. Trying to think of something bad. Let's see. We like all the vegetables, so it's not like it's eating liver. But it is something that is we won't do again. Greens grow fantastic in the greenhouse.
Yes.
It's a good way to get a jump start in the. So we know that most greens can take light frosts. So that's not what you're looking at. What we use it for is we can get our greens started under lights, bring it out here and start growing it. And by the time we're doing spring planting outside, then these are huge in here and they're beautiful and they taste great. And I mean, it is a great option for greens. So we don't want to take away that there are plants that can grow fantastic in a hothouse, greenhouse, whatever you want to call it. Ours is more of a cold frame because we don't have heat in here. But I think it's wise to grow to stretch your seasons. Yes. And peppers. Peppers is another one I'm going to include in the hothouse tomatoes. So you have a bonus 6 plants that we're not planting in the greenhouse. We always plant tomatoes and peppers outside. But the peppers grew huge. They're the biggest pepper plants I've ever had. I mean, they were definitely waist high. They had tons of fruit on them, but they all only got about this big, a couple inches, and that was it. And they weren't super flavorful. I just think these were meant to grow in the sun. So that is our 5 final, but I wanted to give you a little bonus. So we don't want to leave you high and dry with just a negative video on all the yucky things we're not going to plant again. We also wanted to let you know that we had major wins this year. Like we grew San Marzano tomatoes for the first time. And at first I was a little bit disappointed with them because they were so tiny. I mean, they were like maybe 4 inches, and we're just used to huge tomatoes. These were not huge tomatoes, but they would put on a plant, you'd pull 20 pounds off. And so there was tons of little ones. And then when I started processing these things into salsa and sauces and all of these different things, I understand why people grow it. The flavor is phenomenal. And then,
it really was.
yeah. And then the paste that you get from it is perfect. And so I get it. I get San Marzano. So that's one positive.
Another plant that we really enjoyed, I really like, is the kale. The kale just does fantastic. A very strong grower, very cold hardy.
Very cold hardy.
And just has an excellent flavor for greens, and the fact that it's so nutritious.
Yeah.
Don't they consider kale a superfood?
Yeah. I think every plant that you grow in the garden is a superfood.
Probably.
They all have vitamins. They're all good. But no, he's right. I always say that kale is the homesteader's plant. It grows our kale anyway. We do ragged red. We do white Russian. We do, is it lacinato? The dinosaur kale. And we do, there's another one we do. Maybe walking stick, and it's huge. And we do that so that we can feed it to the livestock. We eat it too, though. It's good. Yeah. But it grows heat, cold. It's just an all around, you need nutrition, you plant kale. So that's number 2. Number 3, we've grown cucumbers every year for years. And I know a lot of people who, they'll grow pickling cucumbers, they'll grow, you know, a lot of different cucumbers. We try not to do that because in the event that we need to get our own seeds. And so we try to grow one thing at a time. We do have a pickling variety that we do, but we eat so many cucumbers here, especially our kids. Our kids love to just pull one off and they'll eat it right in the garden. And Soya Long are the best cucumbers we've ever eaten.
Super.
Oh, I mean, they have so much cucumber flavor. I used to think cucumbers tasted like nothing, like water. That's untrue. Soya Long, if you're looking for a fresh eating cucumber, that is the way to go. We've grown 30 different varieties here. Not last year, but over the years, we've grown 30 different varieties. And so we highly suggest Soya Long. They're excellent. Also, and guys, I don't know if I'm saying this right, Seychelles.
Seychelles.
Okay. Seychelles, beans. We grew that on our trellis this year. It was super prolific. It was, I didn't see any disease on them. I mean, they are great tasting. Nothing can rival our Kalima beans that we have grown for almost 15 years. Nothing rivals that flavor. But these outproduce the Kalima beans. So on that one small trellis, we produced probably double as much as the Kalima beans did in an 80-foot row. So definitely worth. I love that they're climbing. And usually climbers for me, they almost have like a waxy flavor. These were excellent. I'd highly suggest those.
Yeah. Another win for us. Maybe you've had these. For us, this was new. The Sugar Rush peach peppers. So the first time we've ever grown these. Very interested to see what those were going to be like. They are definitely spicy.
Yes,
but,
they're definitely spicy.
There's a slight sweetness to it. but we really enjoyed those. Really good peppers.
And we made a cowboy candy video this year. I might make another one next year because I feel like we missed some things in that video, but we made cowboy candy. I am definitely making cowboy candy from Sugar Rush Peach peppers next year.
So good.
It was so good. And then the other win we had was with our jalapenos. They were just called jalapenos. That's odd. But we got from, I think it was 6 bushes, we got 22 pounds of jalapenos. So, and I barely paid attention to them. So these were big winners this year. So we're just telling you guys the wins and losses because we know that seed time is coming and it's time to start planning for our gardens. We know as soon as it starts to be around Christmas time that this is a special time of year because we get to order our seeds. So know what your wins and losses were, and definitely try. Even if we didn't like something like the Alice Dream, that lots and lots of people have great success with Alice's Dream. We're pretty picky on tomatoes, and we have very specific purposes for them. So just because we didn't have success doesn't mean that you won't. So try everything. It could be your best variety yet. So
remember, if we can detail our wins and losses,
anybody can. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
YouTube, this is Raleigh the Snowman.